Welcome. In this video, I'm going to go over some tips to help you with Program 6. Program 6 is a word guessing game similar to the game Wordle. Be sure that you take a look at everything that was posted. I posted a template that has a lot of assistance to help you to do this assignment. And in this video, I will talk over some things that you can change, and some things that I want you to keep the same. So I want you to use the functions because I want you to practice passing the object of your letter guess, your word guess. I want you to practice functions. So a lot of times in these assignments, there are things that are kind of extra, and they seem kind of extra, but it's just all about practice. So I want you to also ask, we're not going to interact with the user's name. It's not necessary for this assignment, but I do want you to ask the user if they want to play yes or no, and use a Y to continue or an N to stop. You don't need to make sure that they enter a Y or an N. You should be able to accommodate upper and lowercase letters. It's the same as it was for letter guess. So you ask them if they want to play, then you play a round of the game, then you ask them if they want to play again. It's assumed that all the words will be all lowercase letters and will have 5 different letters. So some words that would be in there could be WORDS, that has 5 different letters, all lowercase. So take a look at the input file that is provided with the assignment. You can assume that the input file and anything will be tested with words that have 5 lowercase letters and all different letters. You don't need to accommodate input words different than that. In addition, we're not going to attach to a dictionary, so you can assume that they're going to be real words. All right. You do need to make sure that the user enters a 5-letter word. So if the user enters a word that has more than 5 letters, you can use a do while. Do you get the word, and while word dot length does not equal 5. So you're going to have to continue to get words from the user, and if the word is not 5 letters, it's going to mess up things and make things not run smoothly. So you need to continue to make sure that the input word has 5 letters. All right, you do not need to make sure that the 5 letters are all letters or all lowercase letters. It's the user's responsibility to enter 5-letter words that are all lowercase. So if the user enters nonsense words or words that have symbols or whatever, you can still process them because they're characters, but you do need to make sure that the length of the word is 5 letters. So please, add that feature to your assignment. Okay. So like the game Wordle, the user will be presented with, like, it'll have 5 letters. So they will enter a word. So say, for example, the word is words, and they enter the word DRAWS. All right, so if they were to enter the word DRAWS and the word is words, well, you can see here when you look at this, there's a D, but it's in the wrong place. But there is a D in the word, so this will become a lowercase d to indicate that yes, there is a D in the word, but it is in the wrong place. This R also is in the word and in the wrong place, so that will be also lowercase to indicate it's in the word and in the wrong place. There is no A, so since there is no A, this will remain an asterisk. There is a W. The W is also in the word and in the wrong place. So these are lowercase, but this S is in the word and in the right place. So this will be an uppercase S. So you will use correct letters that are in the right place will be capital letters, and correct letters that are in a different location will be lowercase letters. So if the word is words, and that's the secret solution word, and the user enters the word draws, this is what you will give them. Now we're not going to do a grid with 6 things. We're just going to reuse the row over and over again with each guess. The user gets 6 guesses, but you don't need to make a grid. If you don't like using asterisks here, you can change it to a different symbol, but keep in mind it's a console application. I tried a couple of different features and I went with the asterisks. So here's an example. First we're going to go over your variables that will be in your class. They're all public. Since this is a class and they're all public variables, all these member variables are going to work just like a struct. So it's just like using a struct. This is your solution. You're going to get a word from the file. I just initialized it to nothing. It doesn't really matter because for each round, the word from the file will be initialized to the word. For example, in the example I just did, this could be words. Then the user gives a current guess. You have to ensure that that current guess is 5 letters. So example, they enter draw, draws. All right, you're going to have 6 guesses. This variable guess number, this is strictly just to let them know the user which guess they are on. So take a look back at the sample output, which I'm going to go over in a minute. And this is feedback about the current guess. So in each guess, they get 6 guesses. So each guess you have to reset that back to asterisks. So it starts as asterisks. When it's this one, this feedback is going to change to D because it's in the wrong, it is a correct letter in the wrong place. R, correct letter in the wrong place. A is not in the word. W, correct letter in the wrong place. I have more examples. And then S, correct letter in the right place. So that's how you're going to do when they enter that. Then if it's words and they get the next word, so they have that feedback, right? So the user is going to have that feedback. There's a D in the wrong place, an R in the wrong place. The A is not in there. The W is in the wrong place, and the S is in the right place. In addition to that, when they enter draws, you're going to take the D out of the alphabet, the R out of the alphabet, the A out of the alphabet, the W out of the alphabet, and the S out of the alphabet, so that they're going to have their list of letters now. They're going to know that this here is what happened with their first guess, so now they're going to guess another word. So this is going to be reset back to an asterisk word, and now they're going to say, oh, let's see, I'm going to try another word. I'm going to try a word that has, let's see, I don't know, I'm just going to pick a word because owner. Okay, I just picked owner because I'm just picking a word. So now we go back to looking at words. So O is going to be, you're going to update your asterisk here to say O is correct and it's in the wrong place. W is correct and is in the wrong place. There is no N in the word. There is no E in the word. And R is correct and in the wrong place. So each time, then they still have this. Oh, okay, so there's a W. The W is not the last letter. The W is not the second letter, right? Then they can say, okay, there's also an R. The R is not the second letter and the R is not the last letter. And then the D is not the first letter, but it's in there. And I know that the S is the last letter, so I messed up on my second guess. I should not have done that. Also, when they enter owner, you're going to remove from this before you even do any of that, the O, the W, which was already removed, so the N, the E, and the R was already removed. So you have this alphabet here, and this is just going to be used to assign back, because after you play around, you're going to have your letters left is going to be missing letters. So instead of having to assign it to a big string like this, you're just storing it in a string variable, and then you can assign it back for the when you set up the next round. And this is set to false, but it sets to true if the user wins that round. So you can use that to give some feedback and to possibly end the round when the user wins, if the user wins, before there are 6 guesses. All right, so let's take a look at another example. So here's another example. So the word is adult. This is actually the sample output. So the word is adult. This is the solution. So see what happens. So the user enters this word meets. So there's a couple of things. That's why it doesn't look like a grid, because you're giving feedback with each round, and instead of making a two-dimensional grid, it's easier just to reset the row. But on your screen you could still have this information. So anyway, so let's take a look. So the user entered the word meets. So the word is adult. So what happens is the M, when they enter meets, you can see here the M is going to stay an asterisk because it's not in the word. Oh, first you're going to go to the alphabet and you're going to remove the M, the E, the A, the T, and the S. So you can see for the next guess, all of those letters were removed. There's no E in the word. There is an A, it's in the wrong place. There's a T in the wrong place, and there is no S. So then the next time they have this information, they have the letters that are left, and you're letting them know they're on their guess number 2. So then they enter a word, and all of these are all in the wrong. There's a T and an A still in the wrong place. They were trying to place the T and the A in the right place. The letters were removed from the alphabet, and now they enter their next word. So Arctic, I don't even think that that's a word, but it doesn't matter if it's not a word because we're not connecting to a dictionary or anything. But here you get to see that the A is in the right place. All right, so that's basically what happens. If they do it in less than 6 guesses, they win the round. All right, so let's take a look basically at what's happening with that. So what's happening with that, we're going to look at our arrays. So you're going to get an array like this. So the word is adult, A, D, U, L, T. Now keep in mind that the functions are meant for practice. It's not meant to make the best game you could possibly make. It's meant for practicing. You're practicing doing some programming things. So, you know, there might be better ways to do this, but it's designed in a way for you to practice. Then the user enters the word meets, M, E, A, T, S. Okay, and then you also have this alphabet, which has A, B, I'm not going to, it should be characters, but it's just going to take forever to do that. E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, all the way up to Z and the null character. Okay, so you have this alphabet. So the first thing that you're going to, there's 3 different functions. The first function is going to remove from the alphabet, from the letters left. So this is called letters left. This is called solution. And this is called current guess. Oh, I have the wrong color, but that's all right. Current guess. Okay, so step 1, you're going to remove the letters from that. So how are you going to do that? The way that you remove them, you're going to have a nested loop. So you're going to have your outer. It doesn't matter if this is the outer or this is the inner, but one is going to be the outer and one is going to be the inner. And you're going to compare. You're going to go through and start here with this M, and then you're going to go through. So this, if this is your outer, so you're going to take this is 0. And while this is 0, you're going to compare with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 until you get to M. And then you're going to change this to a space. Then you're going to move on to number 1. And this is 0, 1, all the way up to 25. And this is 26, right? So then you're going to take number 1 and you're going to compare, and I gave this to you in the template. It's just an outer loop, so I'm going to compare this. I'm going to be at 1. I'm going to say, does this one match? 0, 1, 2, 3, and we find this when we find the match right here, we're going to take this one and change it to white space. Then you're going to go up to 2. 5 is going to be the length. Okay, then we're going to compare, and then this will change to white space. So that's how you do remove from. Then step 2, you're going to see if there is a match. So you have a bool, a function that is a bool return type. Look at the template. Do you even have a match? So what are you going to do with that? You're going to take these two words right here, and you're going to compare. One will be the outer and one will be the inner. So let's just stick with, this has 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we can stick with this one being the outer, it's fine. So you're going to take this one as 0, and you're going to compare with this with 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I didn't find a match. Then you're going to take number 1 and you're going to compare. 0, 1, 2, 3. I didn't find a match. Then you're going to take number 2 and you're going to compare. Now, once you find a match here, that function will return true. Okay, in this case, you can use the keyword true. You found a match, it's true. If the user gives you a word that has no matches whatsoever, what are you going to do? You're still going to remove the letters from the alphabet because you want to give that feedback, but the bool match function is going to return false, and that means you don't need to go on to step 3. If there's no matches whatsoever, there's no reason to go on to step 3. Okay, so this is a nested loop and this is a nested loop. If you return true when you find a match, then you need to go the same way. One of these will be outer, one of these will be inner, but you're also going to have your star, your asterisk word. Right? So what's going to happen is you're going to compare. When you compare and you find a match, so we found this match, but when we find this match, we have discovered that this match matches, but it's not in the right place. So that means we're just going to change this to a lowercase a. But if you find a match that is in the right place, that means that if this is I and this is J, that would mean that I equals J. So if you were to find a match that is in the right place, then you're going to change it to an uppercase letter. Just keep in mind that this is going along with the index of the current guess. It's not going along the index of the solution, right? So this is going along with the index of the current guess. And if you do have a match, like say this was a T here, just for example, then you're still, and this matches because I matches J, then you would just, and this is not, I know that's not a word, but this just for example, then you would make an uppercase letter right that. And to do that, you use the library pound include C type, CC type, because it's C++, and it has a function in it called toUpper. So hopefully this helps you understand better what you need to do. Please take a look at it. The template has a lot of help. So I'm not going to do a coding video because there's really no reason to. I really gave you so much help in the template just to clear things up and make it a little cleaner. I'm just going to go here and remind you that step 1, you remove the letters from the alphabet, and the name of that is called letters left. Then number 2, you check for a match. If the user enters no match whatsoever, you don't move on to step 3. Then step 3, you use a nested loop and you make the you put the ones that are in the, so like this. I'll do it one more time. We have our asterisks, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have our solution, C-A-N-O-E. And we have our guess, T-R-A-N-E. So this is the guess. This is the solution. So you go, it doesn't matter which one is your outer and which one is in your inner. They all have numbers, so they all have indexes, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is why you have to make sure that this is for letters. I know you can go up to 5, but I want you to practice using the length function. You'll see in the template. So you go through and you start with this one right here. And you compare 0 to 0, 0 to 1, 0 to 2, 0 to 3, 0 to 4. You don't find a match. This stays an asterisk. You move on to number 1. 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4. It's not a match. It stays an asterisk. You go here to this one. 1, 2, 1, 1. But 2 and 1 are not equal, so you do change it, but you change it to lowercase. Move on to the next one. 3, 0, 3, 1, 3, 2. Oops, we found a match. 3 and 2 do not equal each other, so I am going to take this and change this, but keep it lowercase. Now I do this one. 4, 0, 4, 1, 4, 2, 4, 3, 4, 4. Oops, 4 and 4 match. That means I equals J if you're using I and J. So this one is then going to change to an uppercase. So this indicates that there's a match in the wrong place, a match in the wrong place, and a match in the right place.